Sit at my grave. Chapter 2. I don't want to hear it. Hop in the car, I have places to be, Reed responded nonchalantly. He began using his fingers, drumming on his steering wheel as he waited on Arden to get in the car. I'm not going if you don't give Gallon a ride, Arden argued. Him and Reed locked eyes with each other, Arden almost snarling with disgust, while Reed's expression was the cross between calling his bluff and mocking him. Okay, you win, Reed said as he gripped his steering wheel with a sigh. Gallon looked relieved while Arden smirked with triumph. Reed smirked at them before clicking the lock on his car just as Arden went to grab a handle. I'll just leave you both here, he announced, chuckling lowly as he watched Arden's shock turn to anger. You know what? I'll just call for a ride, Gallon muttered, reaching for his phone. No, Arden said sharply, making Gallon do a quiet sigh. He knew this wasn't about him or any of them getting home at this point. He was there plenty of times to see them butt heads like this, both unrelenting, challenging each other's egos. And it's over the dumbest things, Gallon thought to himself. His hands in his pockets and just waited for it to be over. Just let us in, Arden demanded roughly, clearly getting frustrated. What happened to your standoff? Reed asked sarcastically. Reed, Mom told you to pick me up. I'm calling her if you don't hurry, Arden told him. You're way too old to be pulling the I'm calling mommy trick, Reed said, rolling his eyes as he unlocked the door. Arden and Gallon climbed inside, barely sitting down in their seats before Reed started to speed down the road. You're too old for it to work, Arden muttered with a annoyed snark. Reed stopped the car with an abrupt jerk, making Arden jump forward in his seat, startling him and Gallon. What is wrong with you? Arden questioned, his angered voice still sounding rattled. Watch your mouth, Reed responded simply, with a smirk on his face. In terms of talking, the rest of the ride was quiet, besides Reed playing this loud music despite any protest. He only acted like he couldn't hear Arden's complaints, or drummed and sung along to the music while he drove. Gallon eventually began keeping his focus on his phone, when it was clear Arden didn't want to try it and talk over the music anymore. Arden, on the other hand, stared out the window, his finger pads digging into the spine of his book, an exasperated scowl etched on his face, the soft glow of car and street lights sliding on it ever so often as they drove. Arden closed his eyes, gripping onto the book harshly. He finally let go, sighing, reminding himself of the book's value. Thinking of that only made him internally feel his aggravation grow. All of his planning for that night, down the drain because of Reed. This wasn't the first time he ruined something for him. It wasn't enough that he did that, but he also had to insult him and laugh at him. Arden was tired of it. Good morning. Did you rest well? Arden rubbed sleep out of his eyes. Hair still a bit damp and disheveled. He blinked a few times before focusing on his mother's smiling face as he made his way into the kitchen. Morning, Arden mumbled. You guys got in pretty late last night. I know you're almost finished, but it doesn't mean you want to be late on your last days, his mother teasingly scolded him. Arden flopped himself down in a chair before grabbing a bowl of cereal, yawning again. Don't blame me. Reed was doing his normal bull. Arden began complaining, before his mother gave him a sharp look. Language, she said. Arden smiled at her. His nonsense, he corrected himself. His mother nodded in approval, smiling before turning back to pour herself a cup of coffee. I don't understand why you called him to pick me up, Arden said, taking a bite of his breakfast. It was getting late. I didn't want you getting a ride from a stranger at that time of night, she explained with concern. A stranger would have been better, Arden mumbled into another spoonful. Oh, you boys, she laughed it off before sitting across from Arden. Before you leave, make sure you take these with you. You can even write whomever's name on this little part to personalize it, Arden's mother said, voice almost squealing a little with excitement. She gave Arden a stack of white and baby blue invitation cards. You could write, to my beautiful mama, or just a formal with a, to Renly Adler, she joked, chuckling a bit before taking a sip of her coffee. Arden looked over the invitation cards. These are for graduation? He questioned, arching an eyebrow. He'd been waiting on the day for so long, thinking of all the freedom he'd have in the world after he finally walked across that stage. He could at last focus on what he truly wanted, and we're having to deal with the stress of other people, grades, and being forced to follow a schedule and fit into a mold. Did you not expect it to come so fast? I've been trying to remind you, Renly said, seeing the look on his face. His gaze stuck staring at the cards. "It can't come fast enough," Arden shook it out of his daze and replied. Arden glided through getting ready for the rest of the day. He finished up breakfast, fixed his hair, got his backpack, and even had a little time to finish writing names on the invitations, his mind on thinking of after graduation. "Have a good day, sweetie. Don't forget Reed's invitation," Brinley said, hugging Arden. The relaxed look on his face shifted upon hearing that. "Don't pull that face," Brinley warned him. "It's my graduation. Why should I have to invite him?" Arden asked bitterly. "You're just supposed to invite family. Don't you want everyone there?" Brinley asked, frowning, folding her arms. "I don't want him there. He doesn't want to be there. Why bother?" Arden questioned. "Reed hasn't missed one school event, so don't tell me he doesn't want to be there. I won't hear it," she argued, putting her hands up. "Yeah, they're to mock me any way you could. Look, I'm gonna be late, but listen to me. The day will go a lot smoother if he just stays away from the whole place," Arden told her before going out the door. "But," Brinley tried to convince him, but the door was shut before she could argue any further. Brinley went to grab her purse off the kitchen counter when she noticed a leftover unmarked invitation on the table. She sighed, grabbing a pen. "To Reed. Hope you can make it," she wrote, planning to give it to him later. "Hey man, over here," Gallon waved. He was standing on the school's track with another small group of people. Most students were just chatting with each other or stretching. "PE, really?" Arden asked as he approached Gallon. "Not much stuff we have to get done now. Graduation is so close," Gallon explained with a shrug. "How about one of those crazy school parties for good old time's sake, instead of making us sweat?" Arden questioned with a sigh. Gallon chuckled. "It's fine, we won't get a chance to do this again. Besides, the school's hosting a banquet at graduation," Gallon told him as he began stretching. "Banquet, huh? Sounds good. Honestly, I can't wait to never see this place again," Arden said, not bothering to stretch much. He shoved his hands in his pockets as he looked around, squinting his eyes from the bright sun. "It could be better, but I don't mind school that much," Gallon chuckled, starting to walk down the track with Arden. "What do you mean?" Arden asked. "I've mentioned it a lot. I want to be a teacher," Gallon told him, giving Arden an uncomfortable smile when he frowned at him. "I don't know why. Explaining boring stuff to a bunch of random, disrespectful kids all day, it seems exhausting," Arden shuddered. "Well, it's not for everyone, but educating the next generation seems so rewarding. All the mistakes our teachers made, maybe I can do it better and really help people," Gallon explained, smiling as he got a bit lost in his thoughts. Arden did a half smirk. "Maybe," he mumbled. "Does that mean you're going to college, teaching degree and all that?" he asked. "Yeah, I plan to. What about you?" Gallon asked, glancing at him. "I'm not interested in going right back to school after graduation. If I had to choose something, I'd pick parapsychology," Arden told him, hearing a few chuckles and giggles as they passed by. "That's that paranormal stuff, isn't it?" Gallon said, a bit quieter, with a shudder. "Yeah, I'd get a stable job too, though, but my main focus would be other things," Arden explained. 5 more minutes," they heard their coach call out with his megaphone. Arden grimaced while others picked up the pace. "I'm not sure if there's a lot of colleges teaching parapsychology," Gallon said thoughtfully. "Maybe you could be the teacher," Arden suggested, nudging him a bit, making him laugh. "No way. I didn't like going to that other creepy building with that weird book," Gallon told him, trying to shake the memory out of his head as soon as it entered. "But," Arden began speaking, but he was cut off by their coach again, telling everyone to hurry. "Let's hustle," Gallon whispered. "I can't wait to be done with this place," Arden grumbled. They both started to jog down the track now, although Gallon put in more effort. The day seemed to drag. The thought of really getting this life started was what pushed Arden to get through it, though. They didn't have much to do. The final tests they needed to graduate were taken a week earlier. The rest of the time was for making memories from the school before they all have to leave. "Hey, did you see what you're most likely to do is?" Gallon asked. He met back up with Arden in the halls. It was loud in there, people laughing, talking, taking pictures. Some were even crying. "What?" Arden questioned. "Look, I was voted most likely to get married early. Weird. I don't even have a girlfriend," Gallon laughed, showing off his yearbook. "Why not? You get along with a lot of people," Arden questioned while he looked over the book. dodging people as they walked. Well, Gallon said thoughtfully. Other things take priority, I guess, he said with a shrug. I understand that. It's the same for me, Arden agreed. A group of girls giggled from behind them before dispersing, gathering back up in front of them, whispering to one another. Last class of the day, Gallon said as they approached the room. He glanced at Arden, almost trying to figure out what he was thinking. Sooner we get these done, sooner we're out of here, Arden responded, glancing back at him. Gallon nodded before they both went in.